Moisture, droughts, hurricanes, wildfires, those types of weather events in 2018 or 2019, we're going to provide some assistance that's related directly to the quality of those crops. Producers that have that documentation that demonstrates the loss in value due to quality, we're going to be able to step in and provide some assistance.
Hear more of Fordyce's comments and learn about QLA on our website, southeastagnet.com.
Are you stuck inside but looking for bargains on new and secondhand goods? Try highbid.com, the online auction site for just about anything. Highbid.com offers a safe and easy way to find hundreds of thousands of items for sale every day. From rare coins to fine jewelry, tools to vintage toys, and classic cars to real estate, Highbid.com has it all. Highbid.com makes it easy to find what you're looking for, and the site is simple to use. Come to highbid.com, that's HIBID.com, and start discovering great deals today.
Randall Wiseman, Southeast AgNet.
When it really counts, depend on the source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
Breezy today with a mix of clouds and sunshine and a high of 66 to 73. And we'll have areas of low clouds this evening, low tonight 45 to 49. Tomorrow will be mostly sunny, high on Saturday 60 to 65, and a cool day Sunday with sunshine, patchy clouds, and a high of 61 to 66. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Holly Holdren.
On Friday, January the 15th at 8:35, my guests will be Robert Cooper and Steve Blank of 0 Hour Life Center, a recovery community organization. We'll learn about the RCO and the many services they provide. There is hope for the hopeless, and there is life after addiction. Recovery is possible. We all know someone who can be helped by the RCO, so tune in at 8:35 Friday, January 15th. This is a vital information for our community brought to you by 0 Hour Life Center and your friends here at WOCA, The Source.
Hey, if you've put it off this long, then don't sweat it. You've still got time for truly great gifting at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens in Ocala. Starting with this year's truly fantastic selection of camellias. Now, for as little as $9.99, you can select one of Bob's own Sasanqua camellias. And you can spend up to $100 or more on much larger specimens, and he's got plenty of them. Need a luxurious green and growing Christmas tree? Well, Bob has them too, starting at just $49.99. And he still has a good selection of poinsettias. Get three nice ones for as little as $12. Come on out today. Walk this truly 5-acre garden. Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens, Southeast 38th Street in Ocala. Daily till 4, Saturdays till 3, and the same blooming holiday location since 1952.
This is Ocala Talks with Tom Schmidt, bringing stories that are important to our community in and around Ocala. Plus, of course, a splash of sports as well. Now, here's your host, Tom.
Good Friday morning. Welcome to Ocala Talks with Tom Schmidt. I am your host, Tom Schmidt, coming to you live from the palatial studios of WOCA Radio, just outside the food court entrance in the Paddock Mall in the Brick City Beautiful, Ocala, Florida, as we wake up to a mostly cloudy morning, a little warm, but a cold front moving through. Be in the mid-60s today, but only in the 50s tomorrow. A guy that's not really concerned about the weather now because he's headed south. I believe he's on his way to Kissimmee. I think that's where he's headed to the Meacham, one of those. It's the car auction. It's the car auction. Is it Meacham or Meekum?
It's Meekum. No
Meekum,
H.
no H. Okay.
Yeah, Meekum Auto Auction. Yeah, it's down at Kissimmee, and we'll be doing a broadcast.
It's the one we see on TV. It's the one we see on TV, right?
Yeah. It's one of the best things that I do all year. One of my favorite things that I do all year that I look forward to is going to the Meekum Auto Auction, because you'll see any collectible car and some that I can't believe people would actually buy. Cars are there. They're going to have 3,500 cars, Ferraris, Lamborghinis, to, I think last year we saw a Ford Pinto.
Oh.
And I'm like, who in the heck is buying that?
Well, if you see a 70 Chevelle or a 72 Nova Super Sport, I always need a birthday present.
Well, there you go. You know how many times I got that? I had somebody yesterday goes, I'm really looking for a 61 Corvette. And I pulled it up on their website. I'm like, well, they have 5.
Yeah.
So take your pick.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the 70 Chevelle and the 72 Nova Super Sport. Either one.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. I'm not a Nova guy. The guy I'm doing the broadcast with, Shane Matthews, loves a Nova. He had one. So
Wait, Shane Matthews. Do I know that guy?
Not that Shane Matthews. He's the drummer from the Bitters.
Really?
So, much more famous. Drummer.
Yeah, he actually did something. He didn't just hold a clipboard. Oh! Did I say
hey, or go to jail?
Did I say that? Oh, hello. That was harsh. So you've been doing this. This is your 10th year doing this?
Fifth. Yeah, it's our 5th year doing it, and I love it. I mean, it's really. I tell anybody if you like cars, even if you only kind of like cars, you should go. It's one of those once in a lifetime. To me, it's right up there with a Daytona 500.
Well, let me ask this question then, because I like cars. I was a big fan of Daytona 500, broadcast from on top of the Sprint fan zone for years for this radio station. I'm back on the radio. I do a show from 8 to 11 every morning, and somehow I got axed out of going to this event. How's that possible?
I had no idea you wanted to go. I mean, next year you're in.
Oh, I'm in.
Next year you're in.
Good.
Yeah.
We'll do the whole broadcast from down there.
Well, they don't open until 9:30, but I'm sure we could make it work.
We could set up in the hotel room, start the broadcast there, get in the hotel the night before, have a nice little steak dinner. I know a great place to get steak in Orlando, a place called Rachel's. It's fantastic.
All right. Why not? We could get glitter, too?
Yeah, you can get glitter and steak at Rachel's.
That's nice. That's really nice.
You get to see different You get to see different garter belts and everything while you're at Rachel's.
Correct.
It's a potpourri.
Yeah, I mean, we could go lingerie shopping.
Yeah, for the wives and girlfriends, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely for browsing. I don't see the problem.
What are you doing at Rachel's, honey? We were Christmas shopping for next Christmas.
Look. This is a business meeting, high level. We were breaking down a lot of stuff here.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We were busy. It was a business meeting. Meeting.
That's right.
So, yeah. So where is this auction at? Off 192 somewhere?
Yeah, it's at the Osceola Heritage Park.
Oh, yeah. I know exactly where it is.
It's a huge facility, 3,500 cars. Again, you name it, they've got it. Last year they sold the Shelby Mustang. Not the Shelby Mustang. The Mustang that was in Bullitt wasn't even a Shelby, and it was a daily driver. Sold for a little over $6 million.
1969 fastback Mustang.
Yeah, there you go. GT. I think it was a GT. So
maybe the best car chase in cinematic history.
Absolutely, it's got to be in one of the top 3. Right. We talked about that last year during our broadcast, and the greatest movie cars. Bandit's way up there. The General Lee, obviously, but Bullitt. The interesting thing about Bullitt is they only used one car.
Really?
90% of the chases.
I didn't know that.
And then they had what they call the star car, where that one was just where it would be sitting, and you would see the exteriors. So. Pretty incredible.
And then didn't Steve McQueen get to keep the car afterwards?
Well, he tried to buy it back from the people who owned it. He tried to buy it back for years, and the guy, it was their daily driver. So, yeah, incredible. I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here.
Okay, we just went real loud in my headset from you, so that's all.
Yeah, that's all right.
The Bluetooth and everything being what it is,
Yeah, it does that. It's in and out.
So when you think about you got me thinking when you think about cars and you think about any car you can think of, the Honda Civics that they used in the Fast and the Furious. People don't think about how much those cars, how you could trick one of those Civics out and how much money you could spend. I had a friend of mine that he took one of those Civics and he did everything to it that Vin Diesel had done to one of those Civics in the original Fast and the Furious. He was $70,000 in on this Civic before he got it done.
Well, you could do that with any car.
Yeah.
You know, I'm driving a Nissan Rogue, and if I was willing to put in enough money, you know, I could probably do 7 seconds and a quarter of a mile.
You could trick it out if you wanted to. Exactly.
Yeah. At that point, it's no longer a Nissan Rogue, though, is it? Yeah, and I think you know, the whole car culture. One of the things I love is it's whatever you're into. You know, so last year they had this Hummer. The H1, and it had like a surfboards coming out of it. It was beautiful. I was like, wow, it's amazing. You name it, they got trucks, cars, Jeeps galore. It really is just a car guy's dream come
Well,
true.
let me ask you this question, because I get this a lot. I go to a local watering hole here on a regular basis. I won't say the name of the watering hole, but it's right across the street from Muni. And they used to wear, you know, kilts and everything when they worked. Okay, so I won't
the
say
Irish
the name
O'Callahan's place.
Well, I don't know if that's the name of it or not, but you know, right there. And they do a car show the third Saturday of every month.
Yeah.
And it's put on by Modern Muscle of Ocala. The people that put it on are Modern Muscle of Ocala. And this is the complaint I always hear. What kind of car show is this? That's the 2016 Mustang. What kind of car show is this? That's the 2018 Corvette. What kind of car show is this? That's the 2014 Nissan, you know, souped up. It says Modern Muscle. It doesn't have to be, do you agree with me that it doesn't have to be a car from the 70s for it to be considered a muscle car? Dodge is putting out great muscle cars now again.
Yeah, you know, my son's got a 2016 Challenger, so yeah, I agree with you, and I think that it's a car show. So if somebody showed up with a 1968 Lincoln Continental, you know, in tuxedo black, I mean, granted, it would take up 3 parking spaces
with the suicide doors.
Yeah, with suicide doors, and go, wow, that's incredible. And I think that's the beauty of cars is you can find a car that it'll bring emotion to nearly anyone in the United States, because you know, somebody's got a car in their past that's their father had it, their uncle had it, you know, their sister had one, whatever that is. I think that's the important thing, and that's why I love cars. I think it speaks to all of us.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, I'm going to ask you, I'm going to tell you 2 cars in my life that you know, scarred me because I didn't get to have them. And I'll ask you if you had a dream car, what that dream car would be. We'll ask Galen that right after the break. This is Galen Unall from Life South, brought to you by the good folks at Penn Flooring and Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center. We'll be right back after this short timeout.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
People ask me why I've worked at Palm Garden for so long, and I tell them it's the people. I love to hear the life stories, especially those from the greatest generation. Celebrating life stories is what sets Palm Garden apart, finding out what's important to them. And I love being a resource. Like Macy's Santa, if I can't help, I'll send them to Gimbel's. After all, Palm Garden is located on 34th Street. I'm Jan from Palm Garden. Call me and let's chat. 854-6262.
Now you did it. Are you completely insane? He's back. He, who must not be named. The man, the myth. The only guy in Ocala to eat his own weight in fried pickles. Twice. Now, you asked for it. Sorta. Live and in person, it's Tom Schmitz.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks on a Friday. It is January 8th, 2021. Galen Unall joins us from Life South, brought to us by the good folks at Penn Flooring, family-owned and operated, serving Marion County for 30-plus years. They're a full-service flooring company dedicated to finding the best solution for your flooring needs. They have experience in both commercial and residential. Go see their showroom at 1201 Southwest 17th Street here in Ocala, or call them at 352-351-3420. We'd also like to thank the good folks at Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center. They're located at 2700 Southwest 34th Street. They offer skilled nursing, physical, occupational, and speech therapy. If you have any questions about Palm Garden or how they're handling the COVID-19 pandemic, give them a call, 352-854-6262. Let's go back out to the phone lines and join Life South's Galen Unall as he is en route to the Mecum car auction down in Kissimmee, Florida. I've registered my complaint that I'm already jealous. I'm just going ahead. I'm jealous. I'm a little aggravated that we didn't make this into a car auction golf weekend. Okay, let's just we could have maybe got a place at Grand Cypress. Went over a couple miles from Grand Cypress. Take in the car auction. Go get some dinner. Wake up tomorrow morning. Play some golf at Grand Cypress or maybe at Lake Buena Vista at Disney. I could see potential here.
Hey, I won a golf tournament when I was 9 at Lake Buena Vista. How about that?
I like the LBV course is my favorite course at Disney.
Beautiful. Yeah, I think Grand Cypress is pretty. There's nothing special about that course.
No, but it's just Grand Cypress. It's an all-inclusive resort. You can do everything and never leave the property at Grand Cypress. They got the sports bars, the restaurants. They got everything you need without ever leaving the property.
Yeah.
But Lake Buena Vista,
range.
you know why?
Nice range.
You know why the pros always played Palm and Magnolia and never played Lake Buena Vista? They played Lake Buena Vista one time. Do you know why they never played it any time after that?
Just assume that you can't really get around. There's no room for any kind of fans or anything.
It was two reasons. One, to view it by a fan, by patrons, was almost impossible.
So flat.
And it plays about 3 strokes harder on the slope than Palm and Magnolia.
Oh, that's probably true. Yeah.
Well, there's water on 16 of the 18 holes.
Yeah. Oh, I know that. I know that.
You play it around all the lakes and all that eventually lead to the big lake that is at Disney Springs.
More swamp than anything.
Yeah. It is swamp. It is. So before we left, I was going to tell you the 2 cars that structured my life, that aggravate me because I didn't get them as my life cars. Everybody has those cars. My first car ever was a 72 Nova Super Sport. I bought it at the Buford Highway junkyard for $300. It was complete garbage, did not run. My dad, who was a master mechanic, him and I sunk about $1,800 into the car, got it running, got it in good shape, and it had a 396 in it. It would get on down the highway. Wow. It would get on down the highway, brother. But
8 miles a gallon?
No, 8 gallons to the mile. 8 gallons to the mile. I would take it to Stone Mountain, and Stone Mountain's like a 3.5 mile loop around the actual monument.
Yeah.
And I could literally fill up in Stone Mountain proper, the city, go to the park, do about 6 loops around the park because you would take an hour to, 45 minutes to get around. This is what we did on Saturdays and Sundays, is because that's where you would, try to impress the ladies when we were in high school. And I would literally be almost on empty when I left Stone Mountain Park because I was sitting there idling around.
Well, it had like a 20-gallon tank.
Oh, it was ridiculous. But it was...
That's awesome.
I hit a wet spot on Cobb Parkway. I was racing a guy down Cobb Parkway, which you should never do, by the way. But I was racing a guy down Cobb Parkway. We must have been about 70, 75 miles an hour. And I was in 3rd gear, about to shift to 4th gear because it was a 4-speed. And I hit a water puddle and spun 7 times. Never flipped, but spun 360s.
There you go.
7 times. It came to a stop, and Put it in the car magazine the next Friday. Put it up for sale because it scared the hell out of me. So I was like, maybe this speed thing, maybe you've had enough speed now, and I've never had another muscle car since then.
All right.
But if I had them,
so what are the two cars?
My dad had a 1955 banana yellow Chevrolet, and he gave it to my. It was a Chevy Coupe. It was 1955. It looked like a big bubble, is what it looked like.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And he gave it to my uncle. My uncle was going into the military. He had got his number called. He was going to Vietnam, but he needed a car, needed wheels to get to boot camp and everything. So my dad gave him that car and said, now, you bring this back because this is my boy's car. It's for my son. When he gets old enough, this is going to be his car. My uncle left it next to a house in Enid, Oklahoma, where it could still be rotting to this day. I have no idea. So I got denied my 55 Chevrolet. And then Mr. Britt, who lived 2 doors down from us, in 1978, 79, I knew how nice a car he had because I was a kid. Kids are into Hot Wheels and Matchbox and everything. Absolutely. And I had a Hot Wheel, and my favorite Hot Wheel, I could look at my Hot Wheel and then look out my window 2 doors down and see the same car sitting there.
Well, you got to remember, Matchbox are production cars. Hot Wheels are not.
Okay, maybe it was Matchbox.
So you were looking at a Matchbox.
Maybe it was Matchbox. Maybe it was Matchbox.
Just going to be accurate here.
Well, maybe it was Matchbox. I get them confused. But I looked out the window and I could see it. So I went at 13 years old and asked, hello, you there? Galen.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. Galen, cannot hear us. We can hear him, but he cannot hear us. He'll call us back, but, we're talking about cars that we had as we wait for Galen to call us back. I had this Matchbox, and you there, Galen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Right.
So I had this we could hear you the whole time. You just couldn't hear us, pal. So I had this Matchbox, and I could look out the window and see the same Matchbox car, but in real life. So at 13, I went and asked Mr. Britt. I said, Mr. Britt, how much you want to sell your car for?
Yeah.
At 13, I go to ask him.
Sure.
He goes, when you get 16, son, if you got $3,000, I'll sell it to you. Now, this is 1979, so $3,000 is a lot of money.
Yeah.
But I was like, I went to my dad and said, Dad, I need to figure out how to make $3,000 by 16. I told my dad the whole story. I saved money up all summer. I saved and saved and saved. I was going to get my $3,000. At the end of the summer, I had $193.
Well, that's why you ended up with a Nova from the junkyard.
The car I wanted to buy, though, and Mr. Britt actually ended up selling it at a car auction in Jacksonville, probably when I was 20 or 21. I went with him. He invited me to go with him, and he sold it at auction. And this was in 1986 or 87.
All right.
And he sold that car for $8,000 at auction. Without doing anything to it. It was just in still the same condition it was when he bought it off the showroom floor in 1967.
Wow.
He sold his
what kind of car was it?
1967 GTO convertible.
Oh, wow. Oh, and you were going to get that for $3,000?
This was $3,000 in 1981.
Yeah, you figure that out. The GTO. They call it the GOAT for a reason.
It was the GOAT convertible.
That's good as like.
I mean, that's like the Holy Grail to me.
It's pretty close. Yeah, it's pretty close.
Ever since then, I've always said, somebody goes, if you win the lottery, what's the first thing you're buying? That's easy for me. I'm going to a car auction and getting a 1967 GTO convertible.
You don't even have to go to the auction. You just order it.
Well, you know what I mean, though. It's
I do. Absolutely do.
I mean, what other?
See one today. No, I guarantee you there'll be a.
Oh, of course there'll be one today.
Here. Yeah.
So that's the car.
This goes on for 2 weeks.
That's the car. When everybody says, what's the car that blows your skirt up or gives you goosebumps, mine has always been the 67 GTO convertible.
Well, that's a hard one to argue. Other than the fact that it's a Pontiac. Other than that, it's a hard one to argue.
But it's a GTO.
Agreed. Agreed.
It's a
I
GOAT
can't
for,
argue
like
with
you
it.
said, it's a GOAT for a reason.
Yeah.
But if I had to, like, I had a friend of mine that his dream car, and still to this day, his dream car, and if he's had 3 or 4 of them, he's tricked them out, he's sold them, but still he would go right now if he could, and he'd buy another one and he'd fix it up and he'd do the same thing. He loved the 78 Monte Carlos, the SS Monte Carlos. He loved them.
All right.
Didn't do much for me, but I understand he loved them.
I just didn't like the body shape.
I like a good Cadillac. I like a nice
But
old
I'm not
Cadillac.
a Chevy guy. There aren't very many Chevys other than the Corvette that I really like. The Camaro, I'd rather have a Mustang than a Camaro. But yeah.
What car?
But again, I respect that.
If money was no object, and I know there's Lamborghinis, Ferraris, and everything. So what car would Galen, if he had money was no option and he could buy any car he wanted, what car is Galen buying?
911 Porsche 911 GTR. Done. I'd have to make sure it had one with the hydraulics because I have speed bumps in my neighborhood. So you have to. They made there's one model where you can raise it so you can go over speed bumps. But yeah, I want a 911. I will have a 911 before I die. Both of my sons have promised they're going to buy me one.
All right, Galen, on the way to Mecum.
Probably the only way I'm going to get one.
You're on the way to the Mecum car auction. Tell everybody where the Bloodmobile is located today.
Yeah, hey, today we're going to be out in Bellevue, and we're also going to be out at Marion Oaks. So just come by and see us. We're going to be all over the place all weekend. So please get the Life Donate Blood. We're still in emergency need of all types. I know we have been since March, but our blood usage is skyrocketing, and our donations are way down. So please just help us out. Get the Life Donate Blood.
Galen, live from the Mecum car auction at 10 a.m. this morning. Cutting the show a little close. Talk to you at 10. Listen to you at 10. See you, pal.
All right. Thanks. Bye.
Bye. WOCA, The Source.
USA Radio News with Lance Pry.
President Trump condemned Wednesday's violence at the Capitol building.
President Trump has